Hello, friends. Can you give me a hello or a wave to make sure that you can hear me? So I know that you can hear me. Just say something in the chat box and we will get going right away. So once again, a quick hi, a quick hello, saying that, yeah, you can indeed hear what I'm saying right now. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Anyone there? Anyone there? Just waiting for this chat to reload and hopefully we can get going. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me on this first Clay's Canucks commentary live of the new year. It is Sunday night, January the 5th. And I learned a couple things from last time. I learned that I don't have to do a 10-minute intro this time because that cut into some of our time. And I actually didn't get to answer all the questions from last time, which I was very grateful that you guys did ask so many really, really thoughtful questions. I also learned that I can activate this super chat thing. So I can't remember who brought it up to me, but thank you. So I don't expect you to support me on this channel or to spend money so your comment is pinned. I don't think what I'm doing is that important. You might think what your comment is that important, but you're welcome to do that, but I certainly don't expect that at all. All I just appreciate that you guys are here and that you're spending some time with me right now. Someone just give me a wave or a hello and a hey, so I can make sure that I can you guys hear me okay? Okay, I see a hey, I see a let's go. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we can get going pretty much right away. I'll give a very quick intro. This time it'll only be 1 minute as opposed to 10 minutes, and we'll get going. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's my weekly Clay's Canucks commentary live. And if that intro sounded very similar, very familiar for you, that's because that's the intro I do on every one of my vlogs. I do daily vlogs on the Vancouver Canucks, some parody songs, some poetry writing, and most of all, I'm a season ticket holder. There, that's the quickest intro. That's all we need to do. At 10:40, based on popular demand, based on the feedback from last week, my son Jacob, my 16-year-old son Jacob, will be coming down to join us for the last 10 to 15 minutes, and he will answer whatever questions you have. They can be about the Canucks, they can be about life, whatever it is. We'll just let his personality shine through, and we'll get going from there. So once again, thank you. If you want, you can press that like button now. I can't believe I did it again. I hate it when people say, hit that like button. If you want to, you can press the like button right now. I might ask you to do it at the end, but it just helps with the analytics. It helps boost the video a little bit when it comes to prominence on YouTube. But that's enough about me. Let's talk about these Vancouver Canucks. Let me talk about them for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'm gonna dive right into the chat box. So, since I last saw you, the Canucks have played twice. They played, actually make that 3 times. No, they played twice. After they beat Calgary on the Sunday night, which is when I spoke to you, they hosted Chicago, that crazy 7-5 victory on Thursday night, and then they beat the New York Rangers 2-1 last night. And I didn't go to either of those games. On the weekend, I was in Seattle. My son Jacob was bowling. You can ask him about that in about half an hour. And then but I was able to catch the third period of the game, still vlog about it. Of course, I saw the Team Canada win in the World Juniors. I watched predominantly a lot of all the 4 NFL playoff games. We can talk about that later. But let's talk about Canucks for the first little bit at least, because after all, this is Clay's Canucks commentary. So Thursday night, that crazy 7-5 victory against Chicago Blackhawks. Almost a throwback game. What I really liked about that game was the fact that the Canucks I didn't like the fact that they went down 4-2. They let in those 3 straight goals in 4 minutes for Chicago. The resiliency to bounce back. Quinn Hughes with that point shot, and then Pettersson with that shot from the slot to tie it up 4-4. Then the third period, it was Horvat's weird fluky goal off of the goalie and defenseman. Then Patrick Kane tied it up, but then Adam Gaudette scored the winner with about 4 minutes left, and then Bo Horvat added the empty netter. So great 7-5 victory against a Chicago team that's below them in the standings, but was coming in on a hot streak, especially their goalie, Robin Lehner. And then last night's game, I know that I didn't get to see all of it. It was Nighty's night, but I know that the Rangers dominated large stretches of that game. But Jacob Markstrom, as always, stood on his head, and the Canucks with the Tyler Myers goal with 1.5 minutes left were able to seal that victory as well. So now that's 7 straight victories. Started way back. You remember they lost to Montreal at home on December 17th, and then it's been victories over Vegas on the 19th, Pittsburgh on the 21st, and then so Vegas, Pittsburgh, and then there's an Edmonton win in there, a Calgary win, an LA win. I probably messed up the order of some of these, and then Chicago, and then the Rangers as well. So pretty exciting stuff. Actually, now that I think about it, I think did the Canucks play the Kings since I last did let me check real quick. No, I think it's only the 2 games since last time, right? If you're wondering why I'm turning to my right here, I have my laptop here. Yeah, the Kings were before Calgary. So since we last did this, only the two games, the ones in January, Chicago and the Rangers. So 7 straight. And the other big news, of course, is that Jacob Markstrom is going to the All-Star game as a replacement for Marc-Andre Fleury of the Vegas Golden Knights, who declined his invitation. So Jacob Markstrom joins Darcy Kemper. And if you follow my vlogs regularly, I actually predicted that Markstrom would get in, but as an injury replacement for, a replacement for the injured Darcy Kemper of Arizona. People say, no, Kemper's only injured 2 or 3 weeks, so he was going to come back. But it turns out that Markstrom is going, and he's going for Marc-Andre Fleury. And there are a few people that said, no, Markstrom should just take the time to rest and recharge, given everything that's happened to him this year with his father's passing. But I actually think, he still might be in the healing process, the grieving process, but different people heal. Different people grieve in different ways, and I think it'd be awesome to be around the best players in the league. You never know if you're gonna get another chance to go back there. So I think for Jacob Markstrom to take advantage, and A, to be rewarded and recognized for his great play this season. B, to be with Pettersson and maybe Quinn Hughes, which I'll get to in a second, and then C, to be around all the players and have other fans and other players notice and take notice of how good he is. I think that's awesome. So that's pretty cool. And then lastly, Quinn Hughes, last man in, obviously against guys like Couture and Pacioretty and other guys from our division. So don't forget, you have to vote for Quinn Hughes. You can vote 10 times per email account. So I pulled up my old Yahoo, my Gmail, my Hotmail. Couldn't find my Simpatico password, but that's okay. And make sure you're voting for Quinn Hughes 10 times a day from each email address that you have. Those results will be released on the 10th, which is this Friday. Okay, so that's what we had. 2 games, both wins, 7-game win streak. Markstrom going to the All-Star game. Quinn Hughes, last man in. Let's get to your questions. And then my son Jacob is coming down in about half an hour. All right, Baseball Jones, hey Clay, coming to you all the way from Stevenson. Awesome. You're probably the closest viewer right now. I'm at Stevenson and Railway. I don't know where you are, Baseball Jones. Let me know whereabouts, and maybe we can meet in the middle one day. What do you think the Canucks should do with the goaltending situation heading into the offseason and subsequently Seattle expansion? I talked about this at length last week, Baseball Jones, but I do believe that they will sign Jacob Markstrom, and everything flows from there. We know that there's 9 UFA, actually there's 11, but 9 active UFAs and RFAs, including guys like Chris Tanev and Jake Virtanen and Tyler Mott and Josh Levo and Troy Stetcher, all important players. But I really think it all flows from Jacob Markstrom and Jacob Markstrom's new deal. What do I think is going to happen? I think they're going to sign Jacob Markstrom. He's not going to take a 1 or 2 year, so they may have to sign him, or may have to. It's not like a burden, but they'll sign him for 3 or 4 years, perhaps, maybe north of $5 million there. So that's what happens by the end of this season. Then by the end of next season, Thatcher Demko becomes a restricted free agent on July 1st, 2021. So that's where it becomes interesting, because we know that the expansion draft for Vegas is at the end of June 2020. What do I think is going to happen? I think the Canucks have about 1.5 years to figure out which goalie they're going to protect. I really think it's that. And Vegas might, if it's Jacob Markstrom that they leave unprotected, because Thatcher Demko plays super well over the next 1.5 years somehow, even though I think Markstrom's going to get the lion's share of the minutes. If you somehow expose Markstrom, and then maybe Vegas, maybe Seattle takes them because he's going to be their number 1, or maybe they look at that price tag and say, oh, all these other guys we want to take, maybe it's not worth the money, or maybe we find another goalie. I don't know. I think I'm just doing wishful thinking, and then they don't take them. They might take them if the Canucks protect Markstrom. Vegas, that's the last time I'll do that, I promise. Seattle might take Demko for the exact opposite reasons, because Demko might fit in their salary structure and they see him as a goalie of the future. Or I hope that Seattle takes neither of our goalies, because there's all these other really good goalies that are there. But we have 1.5 years to worry about that. But I think the first step is the Canucks sign Jacob Markstrom to a contract, and then everything kind of flows from there. All the dominoes fall, so to speak. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think Jacob Markstrom's next contract is going to be. I say it's 3 or 4 years, north of $5 million, maybe between 5 and 5.5, maybe $6 million gets it done. I don't know. Jacob Markstrom's turning 30, I believe, so he's going to want to have a big contract for his last contract, one that sets him up well. Harry, hi Clay, hi Harry. Josh Madden, hey Clay, great weekend to be a Canucks and Hawks fan. Yeah, it was an awesome weekend, especially because I was in Seattle, and I was wondering why Costco was so empty. It's because everyone was watching the game. And I was able to catch the tail end of 3 of the 4 NFL playoff games But yeah, it was a great weekend to be a Canucks fan, a great weekend to be a Seahawks fan, a great weekend to be a Canadian, a fan of the World Juniors. I actually put a poll up on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter at Canuck Clay, you may have seen I said, my first poll was, which gets you more excited? Is it the Canadian Juniors win gold, or is it the Canucks 7-game win streak? And I got about 400 votes, and over 70% of you said the Canucks 7-game win streak. Well, honoring that they're still excited for the Juniors. I said, okay. So then after the Seahawks game, I threw that one in. I said, okay, new poll. What gets you more excited? The Seahawks advancing, Canada winning junior gold, or the Canucks 7-game win streak? And again, 78% saying it's the Canucks 7-game win streak, and the other 30% was now split between the World Juniors and the Seahawks. So I think the World Juniors, nice story, obviously a crazy game, 4-3 win over Russia, comeback victory in the third. That was really cool. Seahawks, nice story for those of us that are football fans, but this is still predominantly a Canucks town, or at least the people that were following me on Twitter are Canucks fans, and that makes a lot of sense. That's why they won 70% of the vote in both pools. 7-game winning streak, yes. Harry, let's go. Yes. Reels Dread, hey Reels, thank you to all of you actually for being here and for taking the time to comment on my non-live videos. But I know Reels, you do comment on a lot of those videos as well, so thank you for taking the time to watch those and for taking the time to engage. Harry, hi, hell of a shot, hi, hell of a shot, nice to see you. You're a frequent commenter as well. Harry Ma, I can hear too. I think I can hear you. Thanks. HSM Fangirl Gaming, hi Clay. Hello, fangirl. I'm not sure what HSM stands for. Oh, High School Musical. I can see it in the icon very, very faintly. Above Expert, hi. Josh Madden, loud and clear. Thank you. Hell of a shot. Give us an hour. Oh, you're very kind. Hell of a shot. I don't know how old you are. I'm probably way older than you. I gotta still do stuff after this live stream and garbage and recycling and get ready for my work week. Make sure the kids are good. But hey, we'll go for an hour. Although 40 or 45 minutes might be me, and then the last 10, 15 minutes will be Jacob. Real Dread, how's going to school tomorrow? Well, again, I think actually, this will be fun. If you want, just put your age down there below, because I really like to know who my followers are, who my subscribers are. And it's kind of funny, actually, last year on Twitter, maybe I should do this again. I put a tweet out, kind of innocent, saying, how old are you and what's your favorite type of food? I think I added the food part because just saying how old are you seems kind of creepy. So I did that tweet and it took off last year. It was getting retweeted, it was getting liked. People were retweeting with their comments, with their answers, so much so that I was getting haters saying, who is this Clay guy and why does he care how old I am? But it was a really cool way to get to know some of the people I engage with, the subscribers and the followers. So Reels Dread, I presume you're in high school. Actually, I shouldn't. Maybe you're in university and you're going back to school tomorrow, but yes. High school kids going back to school, elementary school kids going back to school, university college kids going back to school. I'm going back to work, but I've been at work for the past week. And I think you guys know I have my eldest son, Sean, is at Sauder, so first year university. Jacob's in grade 11 at U Boyd, and Kayla is in grade 7 at St. Paul's Elementary School. So yes, going to school tomorrow, or for 45-year-olds like me, going to work tomorrow. Harry, thank you. Hell of a shot. Why you be son cheap, Clay? You son cheap. I don't even know what that means. Hell of a shot. You have to put that in proper English because I'm not very cool. I don't know what that I don't even know. Okay, hell of a shot. Write it again. Fernando, hi. Harry, like the video. Clay, thank you, Harry. Dean. Oh, I skipped too much here. Dean. Now would be such a great time to trade Jake Virtanen. Get a chance to get that first back Jim mentioned. Thoughts? No, I do not trade Jake Virtanen. Oh, speaking of Jake Virtanen. You guys like that? Okay, Jake Virtanen. I would not trade him if I was Jim Benning, given that we've waited 5 years for him to get to this spot. I spoke a lot about Jake Virtanen last week, actually, in the live stream, and his development under Travis Green in Utica 3 seasons ago. But no, I don't trade Jake Virtanen. And I think last week I made the point too, I don't consider him like a core player like Besser, Hughes, Horvat, Pettersson. But I do think he's still a key piece, if that makes sense. I wouldn't call him part of the core four or the high five if you want to add JT Miller in there or Jacob Markstrom. But I do think he's an important part of our team. He might not ever, I don't think he'll be a first line player. He can play up to the second line for a jolt of energy, but I think he's playing where he wanted to play as a third liner. I remember talking about this last week. He's basically the epitome of a middle six player, right? Second line or third line, and that's where he kind of bounces around in the lineup. No, I would not trade him, because we might think his value is high, but someone else in the league still might not think so. And I think the interesting part about that is, you guys know this, that you usually overvalue your own players, because we think Jake Virtanen, he's doing awesome, right? He's on pace for 40 points this season and 20 goals or whatever. And we see that and say, man, that's really, really good. He has a chance to, this is a breakout season. But you take someone from a different market and they might say, oh man, isn't this the guy who was picked 6th overall back in 2014? Isn't this the guy who should have been, way better 2 or 3 years ago? So all to say, I think, and not just Canucks fans, everyone overvalues their own players. So we might think now is the time to sell high on Jake Virtanen, but I would suggest that maybe his value isn't as high as we think, and therefore I don't think we're gonna get a fair deal. And more importantly, I think it can be a bigger part of this team. But I'd love to, Dean, I'd love to, if you disagree, I'd love to hear why. Maybe leave that comment below if you want. Hell of a shot. My Patriots got kicked out. Yeah, sorry to hear that. Was surprised, game on the line in Tom Brady's hands, and he throws that pick 6. But no Linden on 90s night. Yeah, Fernando, a lot of... there's been a lot of talk about why hasn't Trevor Linden been involved in any of the festivities. We know that he didn't leave the Canucks on best terms, whether you think he willingly walked out or more accurately, I think he was fired, but they just didn't say it that way. Obviously, philosophical differences on vision with Benning and Aquilini. But all accounts, yeah, it was weird to have a 90s night without Trevor Linden, especially seeing Lume and Babbage and Greg Adams and Cliff Ronning and Kirk McLean and Gino. But apparently he will be there for the Sedin's retirement in the middle of February, so we'll take him at his word for that. The next game against Tampa Bay is going to be scary. Both hottest teams versus each other. Only one streak can go. Yeah, Tampa's funny. They finally climbed up to 3rd place in their division, the Atlantic Division, and it's mostly because they played fewer games than everyone else in the league. So I think from a points percentage standpoint, they're probably higher there than what their standing might say. So yes, that will be a very, very good game on Tuesday night. Does JT Miller have an extra jump in his step? I don't think he's bitter. I think it's worked out very well for him where he is, and he's still getting paid the same money that Tampa negotiated with him. So, but maybe JT Miller has a really good game in his return. But yes, that should be very, very entertaining. Fleury will get suspended for not going to the All-Star game. Yeah, usually they do a 1-game suspension, but it's not like it's 1-game suspension that you have to play as a goalie, right? For a goalie especially, it's not so bad because they simply play the other guy, which is fine. Jason Cormos, Clay, caught you live. Yeah, Jay, thank you. I appreciate the interactions both on Twitter and on YouTube. And I read that thread that you sent me earlier today on that other guy's video. I actually don't watch a lot of his videos, but that's fine. I read through the comments, and yeah, I don't know what the other guy was talking about, but thank you for passing that on to me. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, Jason left a comment on another YouTube channel about how the Canucks, with games in hand, how that's an advantage. And then someone went back at Jason and said, what are you talking about? That's a useless stat. Games in hand mean nothing. And Jason very calmly said, no, games in hand mean everything, given that we could overtake Arizona and Vegas at the top with these games in hand. And this other guy who's a Vegas Golden Knight fan is saying, no, that's a useless stat. You have to win those games. And Jason's like, well, that's exactly what I'm saying. If the Canucks win those games, then we're actually in a good position to take over. So it was a really weird exchange. Jason, thanks for passing that on to me. Hell of a shot. Clay can't talk and read at the same time. Yeah, I'm not that smart, but I'm going to keep trying. Go Founders, big Canucks fan leaving Toronto. Awesome. So I don't know why you're still up, Go Founders, but thank you for being up. I know it's 1:18, I guess, your time there. I know a lot of Vancouver people in Toronto, whether they're from Vancouver or Canucks fans, do stay up and watch the games. And they're probably used to staying up till 10, no, what am I talking about? Till 12:30 or 1 in the morning to watch Canucks games. And I guess old Asian guys doing live streams on YouTube. So thank you, Go Founders. Real Dread, next game, both Canucks. I think we just talked about that. Yeah, some game win streak on the line. Hopefully Canucks win. Evan, hey, Jason, keep them. Yeah, I presume that's about Virtanen. I agree with you. Tony, hey, Clay, I thought of a way to keep Markstrom Demko. Sign Markstrom to a 1-year, $8 million contract under the agreement that he'll take a discount after the expansion. I think that's risky. Like, I know they talked about that for other players, like almost these handshake deals where, we'll sign for this and we promise we'll bring you back. But I know agents would say we have no guarantee. As good as your word may be, you guys have seen Jerry Maguire, right? As good as your word may be, there's no guarantee. So I just don't see that happening. But if Tony, if you want to expand that, or if someone else wants to expand on Tony's idea of signing Markstrom to a 1-year, $8 million contract, and then re-sign him to another contract after the expansion draft, I just don't see that happening because I think it would have happened with other players, but maybe there's something I'm missing. Plus I'm trying to think and talk and read at the same time with limited success. Chris Gary, they'll sign Markstrom to a hefty cap hit, thereby not making him attractive to Seattle. The Canucks will protect Demko 100%. Chris, I agree with you. I really think that's the way they're going to go as well. And I kind of hinted at that. I think, that's why a lot of these cap decisions with other guys like Vertanen and Stetcher will flow from the Markstrom number. Yes, I think it will be a number where Seattle will say, well, he's 31 years old now and he's making whatever, $5.5, $6 million a year. Maybe that's not the best use of our resources as a expansion team. Who knows? That's going to be a very fascinating storyline to watch for the next year and a half. Tampa is going to be a tough game. I agree. I see a lot of ages coming up, but that's fine. HSF Fangirl, I'm a member of the GLCPC. Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. Just in case you guys are wondering, what's this goofy GLCPC this guy keeps talking about? I made this club up. It's the Good-Looking Canucks Positivity Club. It's self-admitting, no membership, lifetime, no application. You just got to be two things. You got to be, well, three things. You got to be a Canucks fan. You got to be positive in your Canucks fandom, and you got to be good-looking. And that's your own judgment. Obviously, I can't judge. Look at me. I'm the founder, and look what I look like. So if you want to be a member of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, with me and HSM Fangirl Gaming, you are in. Hello, God bless. God bless you too, Eric. All right, here we go. Here come the ages. Bo Horvat, I am 15. HMS Fangirl, I'm from BC as well. Awesome. What part of BC are you from? I'm in Richmond. Go Founders, 47. Nice. 47 for you, 45 for me. 1970s boys, that's awesome. Above Expert, you're 14. Yashu Sharma, would you rather keep Jake or Stetcher? Oh, that's a really good question. You could argue that the Canucks have some really good depth coming up on the wing with guys like Podkolzin and Höglander and Cole Lind. So, and then you could argue that on the right side, you have Brogan Rafferty ripping it up in Utica. You could get Trampkin back. Although I'm not as high on Trampton as a lot of other people are. If I had to pick one, I really like Stetcher's game, and I really like the fact that he's from Richmond. Although that doesn't mean anything I think it means a lot actually. Would I rather keep Jake or Stetcher? Wow, that's a really good question. I think it's super close, but if I had to choose today, I think I'd lean towards Jake actually. I really would, but it's so close to say. Elise Bitterson, 21. Anula, 46. Nice, another 1970s baby. Hardcore Gamer, 15. Ammer Beer, Dylan, going to the game against Florida. Sweet. Oh, in Florida, I presume. That's awesome. I hope you have a really good time. Cheer loud. Tony, don't trade Vertanen. I'm with you. Reels Dread, 15. There we go. And Reels, you still haven't told me what you meant by that word that I completely mucked up. So let me know what you said. Fernando, 35. Baseball Jones, I'm 35. Sounds like I'm right down the street from you. I'm just off Gary and Railway. Fellow season. Wow. Well, with Baseball Jones, let's meet up at a game soon. The next one I'm going to 2 in a row. I'm going to the Thursday one, the 16th. I think that's against Carolina, right? I should know what game I'm going to. No, Arizona. I am going to Arizona and San Jose back to back. Actually, and St. Louis. So I'm going to the next 3 home games. So maybe we can connect before then. Justin, hello. Hey, Clay. Hey, Justin. How are you? Thanks again for your engagement across all social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Josh Madden. If the Canucks keep playing at a good point pace, who are some cheaper players around the league they should target at the deadline? Cheaper as in assets they have to give up. Wow, that's a good question. Who are some cheaper players around the league they should target? I have a gut feeling, Josh, that they're not going to really do much. I really don't, because, they took a beating over the JT Miller trade, although I think it's working out quite well. But it's easy to say that now because JT Miller is basically a point-per-game player. I know Jim Benning has gone on the record to say they want a top 6 forward, but at what cost? On one hand, as excited as I am for the Canucks right now, I kind of don't want them to do anything too crazy, because you could argue they're still going to be better a year or two from now once Quinn Hughes has a year under his belt. Pettersson gets even better, and so on and so forth. So I haven't really thought about this. Obviously, UFAs, guys that are going to come July 1 UFAs, are usually the guys that traded at the deadline as rentals. But I haven't, obviously Taylor Hall is going to be too expensive, nothing like that. So I have to take a look at the list of UFAs really and start to think about that. So sorry, Josh, I don't really have a good answer for you, but I also have a feeling that they're not going to do anything too crazy. But that's just my gut feeling. I'd love to hear your comments. Maybe you can drop some names there and give me some hints as well, or give me something to work with. Oh, I hear my other dog coming down. Okay, maybe not. Okay, Josh, possibly starting to play a Bo and Pearson. Yeah, that's a good point, Josh. I still think they want Frillin to be that guy. Josh Levo is out for 2 or 3 months, but that means he'll come back. maybe in March, just in time for the playoff run. But yeah, I was really hoping that Michael Furlan would be that guy, and maybe he will be, maybe he won't be, given his recovery from concussion. I permanently, hey, nice to see you, man. Great win last night versus New York. Wish Lyndon Bury was there. Vlog from last night coming soon. Awesome. So I permanently does vlogs, some really good vlogs of in-person footage, edits them quite well, and you can get get a nice perspective of some Canucks games by going, following him, subscribing to him, watching his videos. Naslin scores. Imo-san, hi. Do you speak any Japanese? Skoshi, choto, just a little bit. No, I can only order sushi and sashimi. Half Japanese, half Chinese. My late father, that's SG. You can't really see it, but his picture's on the wall behind me at my home. He could speak Japanese to his parents, but my grandparents were the first ones that came over from Japan. So I did not, while my dad could speak Japanese, his English was better than his Japanese because he was born here. And of course, I was born here. And I took actually 2 years of Japanese, 1 year of Japanese at UBC. My speaking was okay, but it was actually my writing that was really behind. I was behind all the Chinese speaking kids because they're used to, the strokes and the character. So my speaking was okay. My writing was horrible. It really kept me behind in that class. So no, I wish I could speak Japanese. My lovely wife, Gail, can speak 4 languages, and I'm still trying to master English. But I know enough to order sushi and sashimi when I go out for Japanese food. Dean, Jake is so overrated. I do Jake for a second. We got Hoglander in the second round. Call up one of the guys from Utica and trade him. No problem. I respect your opinion. I will disagree with that. I do not think he's overrated. I think there's a lot of expectations on him, and now he's starting to fulfill them. So, but you kind of answer your own question, Dean. If you were the one, I think you were the one who originally said, should we trade Jake? But you just said then that he's overrated. So unless you're hoping that another team doesn't think he's overrated, then, or maybe you wanted a team to think he's overrated and therefore give up a lot for him. So, I will respectfully disagree with your opinion there, but I like him a lot, and I think the Canucks could really need a guy like him, especially if Furlan isn't going to work out. Shiraz, maybe they're saving Linden for the 2010s. Yeah, I wouldn't use the term saving him, but I do know that he's all for the past little while. He has talked about being here for February for the Sedin's night, so maybe. Hi, host. Hello, lefty all around. Nice to see you again. Amanbir, do you start Markstrom back to back on the Florida road trip? Man, I know that's Tuesday and Thursday, right? Yeah, I think if he plays really well on Tuesday in Tampa, because there's a travel day, but it's 2 days between games, not just one. And then between now and then obviously there's hardly any travel from Tampa to Florida. I could see Markstrom playing both those games, but do I see him playing 3 in a row? No, I think the flow you want is Markstrom playing 2 out of every 3 and Demko playing 1 out of every 3, because then you have a 54-27 split or whatever. If, in a perfect world, if there were no injuries and such. So I could see Markstrom going back to back for sure, but then I could see Demko then getting the Buffalo game on the weekend. Which is, an earlier start, right? It's 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. in the Eastern time. So maybe that's what's going to happen. If I had to guess, I go Markstrom, Tampa, and Florida, and then there's a quicker turnaround between the Florida game and the Buffalo game. And maybe that's where you put Thatcher Demko in, but we'll see. I agree with you, Dean, if you're talking about Virtanen. Oh, there you go. Dean has a supporter about trading Virtanen, which is totally fair. Ryan, hello, Clay. Hello, Ryan. Lefty all around, but I wouldn't trade Jake for a second rounder at this point. He's producing. So Lefty agrees with Dean and agrees with me. Well, that's cool. Go Founders. Was raised in Nova Scotia, being a fan for 37 years. Awesome. Lefty all around, nonsense 1-year contract. So doesn't agree with that 1 year to Markstrom. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Edmund, hey, Clay, how's your daughter doing? Most important. Edmund, thank you for asking. Many of you saw either on my YouTube videos or on my Twitter that my daughter Kayla got her appendix out on New Year's Day of all times. Now I'll tell this story quickly I'll take 45 seconds to do it. New Year's Eve, she was having stomach pains throughout the day. We weren't sure something she ate. Then at 9:30 came to me crying, basically couldn't breathe, couldn't walk. Took her to emergency, Richmond General Hospital. They told me when we checked in at 10, you'll probably be here past midnight. I said, no problem. They got us into a room pretty quick, but they didn't look at her until 12:30. So we spent New Year's Eve we brought in the new decade in a ER room, a room at emergency in Richmond General Hospital. The ultrasound inconclusive. They did that laparoscopic whatever where they put a camera in. Found out her appendix was indeed inflamed. Pulled it out, removed it at 1 p.m. and we were home by 3:30. So it was a crazy 18 hours. Yes, we brought in the new decade in Richmond General Hospital, but Edmund, and to all you who sent prayers, wishes, positive vibes, offers to help, I appreciate you so much. I said that in my YouTube videos from around New Year's, and she is recovering. She's back to her normal self, basically. Can't do PE for a week, can't bowl for a week, but she is going to school tomorrow. So Edmund, thank you for asking, and thanks to all of you for your concern for my daughter, Kayla. Horvat, if he can get 70 points, he should be considered for the Selke. Yeah, he's on pace for about 65, 66 points, especially after those two. Selke, though, isn't that best defensive forward, and I think some would argue that he's actually not playing the best defensively right now. He's doing okay, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I put him in the top 3 or top 5 of the entire league in defensive, offensive players. If that, I know that's not the technical term, but I think he's doing well. But I'm not convinced he's a Selke candidate yet. But maybe someone can correct me if they disagree for sure. Northern BC, cool. You can put a city on there unless you don't want to tell me. That's fine. Dean, they should trade one goalie. We can see what's happening. Can't Jim have some foresight for a change? Could get a great pick and call up the goalie he signed in the off season. Dean, I appreciate you're a thinker and you're progressive, but you're not going to trade Markstrom now if you're trying to push for the playoffs. And I don't think you're going to trade Demko because you need insurance for the playoffs, a good backup. You never know, either for performance or injury. And I don't think DiPietro or the other guy, McIntyre, is ready to step up in that way. So I don't know. I respectfully disagree once again. This is good. This is engagement. This is a discussion. But I would keep both our goalies at least until the end of this season for sure. Lefty all around, probably keep Vertanen because our defense is getting better in depth. Ryan, how's your son's bowling tournament? He did well. He didn't place, didn't win any money because this was an adult bowling tournament. He was only one of 12 juniors. He started off really well, had 3 really strong games, averaging 200, but then fell off a little bit. Really tough pattern, but great learning experience. But you can ask him about that as well. Ryan, thank you for asking about that. Go Founders, 100% keep shotgun. He's finally getting it. I would not disagree. Justin, I like both guys to choose. I would keep Vertanen. Turning the corner, we have depth coming up if we need Stetcher and Rafferty, Ulevi, and even Jet Wu. Yeah, I forgot to mention Ulevi and Wu. I was talking about Rafferty. I was talking about Trampkin. But then if you lose Tanev or don't resign Tanev, and then you play hardball with Stetcher, then you're losing 2 right-handed guys. So that's a lot. We'll see. Clorax, hi, hello, hell of a shot. This next offseason, there's going to be a lot of unpopular decisions to be had, Marky. Yeah, Canucks kind of paying themselves into a corner a little bit with the salary, so we will see. And of course, they have to have the foresight to know that they got to sign Pettersson and Hughes in a year or so, or at least they can start negotiating with them. Harry, hi, Clay, hi, Harry. Gary, you think Jordy Ben will crack the lineup? It's pretty crazy what's happening in Ben. I haven't heard too much about him complaining in the media, and you don't change anything with a team that's, has 7 straight wins and vaulted them into contention for first overall in the Pacific Division. I know when Vandenberg signed on July 1, he thought he was going to be the 6th defenseman, right? And then when Jordy Ben, they signed him a couple weeks later, I'm sure he thought he was going to be the 6th defenseman. I have no problem with the competition, with what's happening, because as I said last week, some guy's going to get injured, and hopefully it's not too serious. But we're not going to go with these 6 healthy D all the way until the end of March, early April. So we're going to need Jordy Ben, and it might be a performance thing. Maybe he comes in even sooner. If the Canucks, I don't want them to, but if they start losing a couple, or if guys start making poor plays. But right now, the Canucks, the D is being okay. It hasn't been amazing. Markstrom's been the amazing one. But there's no one that's making massive errors where you have to make a change. But I do see Ben getting in, sooner as opposed to later, and it might even be as soon as the Canucks falter one game. But so he'll crack the lineup, but I'm sure, I shouldn't say that, but I'm pretty sure he'll get in the lineup on this next road trip. It's just a matter of when. All right, let's keep going. Jacob's coming down in a few minutes. Go Founders. I would trade Demko, 2 concussions already, and his job doesn't involve pucks to the head. Yes, being a goalie, you can get pucks to the head. But again, same thing we talked about, Jake. If we think Demko's value is high, is his value high around the league? We have a lineup, a GM with some foresight somewhere else who wants to take a risk. Not a risk, but wants to kind of gamble, speculate a little bit, because Demko, as much as we love him here, he hasn't proven himself completely yet. Harry, my heart was beating fast when the Rangers tied it up. Yeah, that was they tied it up in the first, so it was it was a long time for that game to be tied all the way through a second and the majority of the third. Reels, what's going on with Sutter? Apparently, him and Ferland are going to make this road trip, or at least they hope to. And maybe they get into action at the end. We'll see. But yeah, Sutter, kind of strange. They say his recent injury has nothing to do with his previous injury. So we'll see what happens with that. Fernando, I'm going to see the Indians retiring game. Me too. That's awesome. But when Myers scores, it was relief. I agree. That was a relief. A kind of fluky goal. Myers likes to score these fluky goals. Bo, definitely not going to happen. But what do you think we'd have to give up to get McDavid? Oh, I don't want to spend too much time on this because I want to talk about realistic stuff. But I think it starts with Pettersson and another roster player. And, oh, gosh, McDavid's the best player in the game. I think it's 2 roster players, a couple prospects, or a couple draft picks, like some combination of 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 assets at least, with a couple of them being really, really good assets. But that's not going to happen. Hung Huan Win. Everything is going on for Myers. Now, yeah, he's been good. He had a great start to the season, then he tailed off a little bit, and now he's starting to score. Harry, who will likely crack the Canucks roster if we trade some of the players like Tanev, Schaller, or Pearson? Well, you got to think with Sutter and Ferland coming back, you don't even have to trade a Schaller or a Tanev or a Pearson, because you already have to make that decision. I think Eriksson's the first guy to come out, and then after that, I think it's one of Mott, Schaller, or Beagle. I think Sutter could come in for Beagle because they're similar players, or maybe this is after Eriksson, of course. Eriksson's number 1 out, and then I think it becomes Schaller or Mott to come out next. I don't think you touch the Virtanen, Roussel, and Gaudette line. Overrated in regards to getting a first, that's why I say second. Yep, that's fair. Harry, next year. Next year. Okay, gotcha. I'm going to worry about that next year, Harry. Respectfully, I just want to get to these other questions. That's cool. Edmund, I do like Myers is showing some more offense, which is great. White Ninja, hello, hi. MRGS, do you think the Canucks are a playoff team? And yes, explain why, please. I've always said from the start of the season that they would contend for a playoff position. I always said third position or the wild card spot, which they are right now. They're on pace for 96 points. Actually, a tiny bit more than that right now. They are a playoff team if they stay healthy, if they get good goaltending, if the D plays well enough, and if they're getting consistent offense from their top players. A lot of those things got to happen, but you can say that about almost every team. But I think if they remain healthy, at least to their core players, that they are indeed a playoff team. I think, to me, the 2 biggest keys are health and Jacob Markstrom. If Vancouver can get 14 of the remaining 18 points a month, they'd be happy. Yeah, well, me too. 14 out of 18 is a lot, though, especially considering that the next 5 are on the road, but we will see what happens. Fillmore Wax, no need to make trades. They just need to make playoffs with what they have. There's room for improvement offseason. Fillmore, I would agree with you. I don't think they're going to do anything big heading into this trade deadline, even if they are contending for a playoff position. Do you think Niels Höglander will make the team next year? I think he's got a shot, but it's still a jump, right? Whatever league you're playing in Sweden, I know Pettersson didn't need it, but I could see Höglander starting the year, at least in Utica, and giving him 1 year of North American pro experience. And I don't think anyone should freak out if that happens, given the glut we have at forwards, but maybe some of those guys don't get re-signed and we move on from other guys. So if I had to say now, I would love him to, but I think we're looking at 2 years from him. And I think Podkolzin will make it straight into the Canucks after his 2 years are done. So I see both of them making the team in the fall of 2021, but not Höglander for the fall of 2020. But I would love to be, surprised there. Playoff team because of Pettersson, Hughes, Markstrom, Miller, Horvat, Tanev, Besser, yeah, but must remain healthy. Yes, I agree with you, lefty all around. White Ninja, I contacted Al Murdoch about bringing back Holiday as their goal horn, and he said they would pass on the note to Canucks director. Well, that's good. Although this song, hey, is starting to grow on me a little bit now that they've shortened the intro to it. But yes, Holiday is definitely a fan favorite. Edmund, with Tanev, I would give him a 2-year contract due to his history of injuries. Just my opinion. Yeah, very similar to what Alex Edler got, with no movement protection. Without movement protection on there. That would be fair. He's having a great. Tanev hasn't missed a game this season, although he's left a couple games, and he's obviously an acknowledged leader as one of the associate captains on our team. If Fantenberg makes a few mistakes, Ben will be back in a heartbeat. I agree with you. Markstrom would be the starter on any of the NHL teams. Can't imagine a scenario where he'd get traded. I would agree. No one's going to trade for Markstrom for insurance. He's got to be a starter. I agree with you. The thought of trading Markstrom now is ludicrous. Hutchinson was literally on waivers, could have grabbed it and traded one of the goalies. I believe Demko has a higher save percentage training either. Yeah, it's interesting. I like Hutchinson. My cousin Dusty, you guys know, is a goaltending coach now in the KHL, but he coached in Winnipeg and and LA, and I know he was really high in Hutchinson, even higher on Hutchinson than he was in Hellebuck back in the day when both of them were in the system. But we'll, yeah, that's a fair point. I do like Hutchinson a lot. I hope he is able to do well. Oh, I hear footsteps.
Hello.
Okay, there's Jacob. Right on cue, Jake. Just sit there quietly without disturbing me. Let me just finish these.
Stay with the dog.
Okay. Yes, we have 2 dogs in our house, our own and the dog of my son's girlfriend, if that makes sense. So our dog is Mickey, and this Jacob's going to hang out with Troy for the next couple minutes while I finish these up. The thought of trading an asset when his value is the highest makes sense to me. Yeah, that's fair, but that doesn't mean you have to trade him. Like, so I get that. Jake, I don't disagree that Jake Virtanen's value is the highest it's ever been. All I'm saying is I don't think it's as high across the league as we think it is here in Vancouver. What is the plan for Juolevi? Your guess is as good as mine. Obviously, they want him playing. They want him playing here, but he's got to stay healthy. Hey, what's up, Clay? Goblin Toss Gaming, what's up to you? Left out around 3 to 5 years from now when the Canucks challenge for the Cup, Markstrom will still be young enough to be a Cup-winning goaltender. Yeah, he'll be 33, 34 years old, so definitely a veteran. I would say that he's not like he'll be a spring chicken. Goblin Toss Gaming, who will get moved when Sutter and Furlan comes back? You might have missed that. I know Eriksson will be the first choice. I think it's one of Schaller, Mott, or Beagle. Fourth line playing well, but not as well as they used to. They're kind of eating it on certain nights now when it comes to possession. So I could see one of those 3 guys coming out as well. So I'd say Eriksson and then one of the bottom 3, the fourth line guys. Dean, look at his stats. He has like 3 shootouts lifetime. Not sure he's talking about because I missed that, but that's fine. Neil, if they sign Markstrom long term, Demko gets traded. We will see. Reals Dread, what do you think the Pettersson contract going to look like? 7-year, $10.5 million. Yeah, he'll definitely be the highest paid Canuck player ever. 7 years, 10.5. Yeah, they'll probably want to lock him up. Like, it's not like a Besser thing where they're still not sure. They'll probably want to lock him up. 10.5. Yeah, I've heard numbers of 10.5 to 11. That would not be out of the ballpark, I think. Do you still hope Juolevi can be a top 4, top 6 D-man? Of course, I hope he is. He can be. He's still young. Defensemen do take a little bit longer to develop, but and we've seen with Jake Virtanen, it took him 5 years to really become the player that we hoped he could be. So maybe 1 or 2 more years for Juolevi, but I think fans' patience slowly running out for him. I'm still patient, but I'm a pretty patient guy. Okay, a couple more, and then we'll get Jake in here. Lefty all around. Other than Pettersson and Hughes, Markstrom is the biggest asset right now. Yes, and some would say that Markstrom is indeed our MVP of the season. You forgot Miller. Beagle third in league in faceoffs, love him $4 million season, still steep for a fourth liner. Yeah, I agree that the money we're paying Beagle's a lot, but in bringing in guys like Beagle, Roussel, and Schaller last year, and now Myers, Ben, Miller, obviously Jim Benning intentionally is surrounding our young guys like Horvat, Besser, Pettersson, Hughes with veterans that have won. Beagle's won a cup, Tanner Pearson's won a cup. Chuck, do you think Besser will ever go back to becoming the sniper he was in his rookie season? Yeah, I know a lot of people been kind of ragging on Besser, but he does have 39 points in 42 games, basically a point per game pace, but only 13 goals, 26 assists. So two times as many assists as he has goals. Will he be the sniper? No, I think players have figured him out a little bit, but he can still be a 30, 35 goal scorer for sure, and I think anyone would take that. Love that JT Miller that is close, who has more. Oh, I love JT Miller that is close, who has more value to the Canucks, him or Markstrom. Yeah, I still think it's Markstrom, but yeah, JT Miller has been a revelation for sure. Vote for Quinn Hughes. I agree. Looking forward to the NHL All-Star game. I agree. I don't want to go to school tomorrow. Neither do I. Well, I'm not going to school, but I have to go to work. We can ask Jake about that. Does Levo Vandenberg come back next season? Vandenberg, I'm not sure. Levo, I think they're going to offer him something small. It's really too bad. Small, like that's relative. I'm not sure actually. It's really too bad though. I think Travis Green really likes Josh Levo, but I think it depends how well they think the other forwards are going to progress. It's really too bad that Levo got hurt as he was having a really good season. Okay, last few. I know Besser's still doing well with assists. Do you think he'll start scoring more? No, I think he's on pace for 25 to 30 goals. I think that's okay. We want him north of 30, but 25 to 30 is still good. Remember, he's got Pettersson and Miller on his line who can also score. So do I think he'll start scoring more? No, I think this is what we're going to get for this season, but all it takes is a big 3 or 4 goal game, and then, right, the average shoots way up. Does Rafferty and Höglander replace next season? I think Rafferty might. I didn't think Höglander is still 2 seasons away, as I mentioned. Could trade Aiden Hill from Arizona for. I don't know a lot about him, so Dean, I'll have to look him up. Harry, could we see Sila or Lockwood in a few Canucks or Utica? Good question. I know of those two players. I don't know how well they're doing in their respective where they are. So I'm going to have to look that up and get back to you as well. All right, number one, power play needs to shoot the puck more. I agree. Rangers did a really good job disrupting them. Last three, and then we'll get Jake in there. I hate to say it, Besser is replaceable. Yeah, replaceable, that's a subjective word, but I do think I would argue that Horvat, Pettersson, Hughes all have more value than Besser right now, but Besser is still very, very valuable player. And but he doesn't have to be the man now with Pettersson and Hughes here. But that's a good point, interesting point actually. Last two, I think Pettersson needs to work on his leg strength. He needs to fall down at least 3 to 4 times. Yeah, actually, I took a friend who's never been to a Canucks game before, and that's what she noticed right away is that Pettersson seems to fall down a lot. Maybe just the way he skates. Hill is the third in Arizona, was a high pick, I think, killer stats. Arizona capture with Hall and Cookie, Dion Hill, Demko and Hill, 2 great young goalies. Oh, thanks, Dean. I'm going to look up this Hill kid. Okay, thank you for that. And I think Pettersson tried harder last year. I don't know how hard he works out, and if he can improve on his whole body strength, what do you think? Yeah, I do think we saw that he did buff up a little bit over the summer, and I think he's only naturally a bit better, right? He's only 21 years old. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's bring in this guy. Jake, you still awake?
Me or the dog?
You.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, friends. This is my son, Jacob. And for the last 10 minutes, you can ask him, move your chair up a little bit.
So bright.
Yeah, well, we need it. Okay. You can ask Jake anything you want, and you can still ask me questions too. Like, you don't have to just ignore me because he's here. But we had some good success with this last week, and we will fire away. You can ask Jake anything you want. I know a couple of you were asking about. Okay, here we go. Rios. So this guy's 15 years old. Rios, what high school do you go to? He says, Jacob, are you? It's funny. As soon as you come on, all the language changes. So if they were asking me, they would say, Clay, are you excited for work tomorrow? But Rios Drez says, Jacob, are you hyped for school tomorrow?
No, I don't really want to go to school tomorrow. Don't really want to go back to the academic stuff, but we're gonna just get through it.
Is this a bad word? I'm not sure what that means. Ben, is that one of your friends?
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means. So it sounds gross. So we're going to leave that one for now.
Yes.
We're not going to touch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But Ben, if you can rephrase your question and then I'll ask it because that just didn't sound right. But maybe whatever. Okay. Dean, Jake, would you ever shave your head so you and your dad could have the same haircut?
No. I mean, you could pay me, and then I'll do it.
What's wrong with my hair?
Your hair's very...
Yeah, but...
I have nice...
You stick to something that works. This has worked for me for 20 years.
Has it really?
And people say that you look... You shouldn't laugh at me. You know that people say you look like me.
They're just saying that to be nice to you.
To you.
To you.
You should be honored.
I'm not honored. Next question.
Jacob, what is your favorite subject in school?
Ooh, that's a good. I enjoy chemistry. Chemistry's pretty fun. I don't know. I don't really want to just say lunch or PE or something like that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Thank goodness.
So that's.
I thought you liked math. Seriously.
Not anymore. Pre-calculus is getting harder, so I don't really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calculus is hard.
Yeah, like accounting.
That was an inside joke, not so inside if you know my history. Hell of a shot. When Louis' this is for me, or no, this is for Jake. When Louis' contract is up in 2 seasons, do you think Benning brings him back for $1.5 million or less to stick around?
Yes. Was that a yes or no question?
Yeah. Do you know who Louis Eriksson is?
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Defense. Oh, no, he's from America.
Okay. He's a Swedish forward that we're paying $6 million a year for 3 more seasons.
Well, that's all right.
No, it's not.
It's not. We could be paying him less.
Exactly.
Exactly. We don't need him. Let's kick him out.
Okay. Remember, I'm going to ask Jacob all these questions unless it's for me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Okay, a couple more. And get glasses. Would you ever get glasses? You wear glasses, right?
I have glasses. I'm all right. I don't really like them.
Okay. Real dread. Who's a better bowler, and can you give me some tips? So you are the better bowler.
I'm the better bowler. Basic tips. Make sure you look at those arrows out about 10 feet down the lane. It'll help you target. always make sure you follow through and go off your opposite leg. So if you're right-handed, left leg, left-handed, other leg. And make sure you just have some fun with it.
It looked like he was being sarcastic, but those were actually 4 really good tips in 20 seconds. It was follow through, it was
Opposite
leg, have fun, and target. Use those arrows. Those arrows and dots aren't on the lane for nothing, right? You actually aim for it to put your ball there with your release.
Yep.
But if you're in Richmond, Lucky 9 Lanes, this guy works there a couple times a week. He bowls there 3 times a week, and his picture is up because he is indeed the 2-time national champion. Someone asked you how you bowled this weekend. Very quickly, what was your experience like?
It was all right. It was a nice experience because there's a lot of bowlers over there, a lot of older people. I was one of the youngest ones there, and there was a lot of good competition. The tournament itself was very exciting. I was excited for the whole weekend. Got to go down with a bunch of my friends. As for the bowling, I did all right. My scores didn't really show that really high, but it was very tough, and I got a good experience out of it.
Awesome. Good answer. Good answer.
Thank you.
We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Long weekend down there.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Oscar, Jacob, do you think you look like your mom or your dad?
Mom.
Are you serious?
I look more like my dad when he was younger. I look like my grandpa. Grandpa.
That's true. And we talked about grandpa earlier, actually. Yeah. Awesome. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Oh, no. Oh, be careful, careful. Should I answer another question?
No.
Okay.
Because I did talk about my dad earlier.
Oh.
Here, move.
Sorry.
So this is my late...
Oh.
There's my late father, Larry. He passed away 15 years ago now, back in 2004. But do you see the resemblance?
In the ring lamp?
Smile like him. No, it's smile like him. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
So that was my late father, Larry. I missed him a lot. And I think, different jawline. Interesting. Okay. But 2 good-looking guys. Okay, a few more. Who's your favorite Canucks player of all time?
Roberto Luongo.
Why?
He stopped the puck from going in. He had a great hair.
Don't be serious.
Yeah, he was good. And then, I don't know, we always got to say Lou. And then when we got to watch the game where he came back, he's in Florida.
Very good.
Florida Panthers, they came back. I always want to go to that game so we can say Lou all the time.
Did you go to that game with me?
I did, like 4 years
And I think
ago.
Henrik Sedin scored his 1,000 point against Luongo in that game because I remember.
Really?
Yeah, I remember it's pretty exciting.
Oh,
Okay, nap time is the best subject in school.
that's right.
Next one, my favorite part of school is leaving.
That was a good answer.
Cash McGregor, Clay and Jake, this is fun and I hope it becomes a regular event. Go Canucks. Thank you, Cash.
Go, Canucks, go.
Lefty all around. Have you had any perfect games? And if yes, how many?
I have not had any perfect games. I've been trying for all time. I'm getting close every single time. My highest game is 287. That's 10 strikes in a row and then a mess up on the second to last one. But I'm getting there. I've got many close games to it. So hopefully it'll come soon.
Yeah, 287 is really, really good. It's hard to get a perfect game.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, I guess that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Jake's your thoughts on top prospect Mike Hunt?
He is good. And we want him. We want to hunt him down.
Okay, I'm not going to make you repeat it. I actually knew this was a joke, and then I think he wanted, if you say that again, it's a bad word. Like,
Oh, I get it.
he actually got me. He
I
got
don't-
me, yeah.
That's bad.
That's very bad.
It's funny, though.
But
That
Mike,
was
you
good.
did get me. And his name is Mike H, so I thought then maybe he was talking about himself.
Like,
But he did get me.
oh, I didn't even see that.
So Hunt with the first name of Mike. That's how we're going to say that from now on.
Mr. Hunt.
Mr. Hunt. Which Canucks do you think will win in a bowling tournament?
I don't know enough of them.
Well, name one guy and we'll just say who'd win.
The guy, the Besser.
Why?
Because he's underpaid. He's striving for greatness these days.
Which Canucks? Oh no, we just asked that.
Yeah.
Jake, have you ever played hockey in a league because your dad loves hockey?
Oh! Yeah, we played street hockey back in the day at this high school. It was...
Lacrosse box.
Yeah, in the cross box.
Yeah, we've also played street hockey growing up in front of our place.
I had a wicked slap shot. I tried it in school once, and then teacher made me go to the penalty box and made me sit on the side because I whipped it all the way.
Yeah, great. And actually, when we play, me, him, Sean, my elder son, and another neighbor, we would actually put Jake in net, and we would fire slap shots at him from halfway across the neighborhood. It was the complex. It was pretty fun.
That's hard.
Yes. Who's your favorite professional bowler?
Oh, Jason Belmonte. It's the bowler that I stuck with since day one. He's my favorite. One of the main reasons why I bowl. I watched him first, and then he's always been my favorite.
Awesome. Two-handed bowler from Australia. Dean says you and Grandpa have a different jawline. That's fair. Hell of a shot. When Clay was a little kid, he used to wake up Saturday morning to watch the professional bowlers on NBC TV.
Really?
No, not intentionally, but I do remember watching bowling on TV, and maybe that'll be this guy one day. Jake, where's your shirt from?
My shirt? It's from my brother. It's a hand-me-down. It's nice though, right? Don't you think? Don't.
Easy there.
Oh.
Blue Notes.
Blue Notes.
Blue Notes.
Oh, that's what they're asking.
Yeah, I don't think
Where's it
they're
actually
asking.
from?
Like, yeah, you don't answer second drawer on the right.
Yeah.
That's from, okay. A few more. We got 4 more minutes, then we're gonna shut it down because we said 11 o'clock. Jake, do you have a do you have a GF?
Girlfriend.
Do you have a gluten? Oh, I thought, do you have a gluten?
No.
I don't know. Do you have a girlfriend?
I do not have a girlfriend.
Keep trying. It will come. Your perfect game. That's
Thank
nice.
you. That's really nice.
Well, and I didn't mean to skip over the girlfriend talk because that's not our sore spot. You have many girls that are interested in you.
Sounds yeah. This sounds bad.
Why? Just like me when I was in high school.
I should have saw that one coming.
Okay. Which Canucks players have you met?
Like, where I like.
Yeah, no. Which one have you?
I've seen them on TV all the time.
Have you met any?
No.
I think Sean has met all of them.
Yeah, I haven't met any. Why haven't I?
Well, because you have to come to a game firstly. I think actually now that I think about it, I don't think Sean has met the year that he caddied for Bo Horvat for the Jake Milford tournament. Actually, Sean met a lot of hockey players, but Jake hasn't had that opportunity yet. And but Sean goes to 3 or 4 games and activities with me, Canucks things with me a year. Jake 1 or 2. But at least you stay up now throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
And you know what color we're wearing. I am working on a Pedersen song, have the melody and the chorus, but need to finish it. Ooh. Awesome. Lefty all around. You know that I do parody music, so I'd love to talk to me.
Yeah.
Have your people talk to my people.
I'll sing for you.
You could, if you want to look up one of his singing videos.
No, I was joking. Okay. Next.
But he did sing 4 years ago at Charlie Puth, One Call Away. It was One Pick Away.
I was
that was before your voice changed.
Yeah, let's say that.
Let's say that.
Voice change.
So you never played organized hockey?
No, never.
Okay. Real shred. Okay, you remember Mike? Real.
I just saw it. Can I say it?
No, you cannot say that. You have to go to confession if you don't say it, please.
Right.
Okay, guys, stop trying to make me say X-rated names. It is kind of funny in the chat box, but no, I'm not going to fall for it again. Oh, man. Nah, Clay and Jake have a different jawline. Oh, we have a different jawline. Jake has the same. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
So he's saying that you look like Grandpa, but don't look like me.
Okay, got it.
Well, my jawline's about 5 of his jawlines. A few more. Okay, now Patrick Starr thinks Mike. Like these guys. How old are you? Well, actually, I know how old you guys are because you told me. Come on, guys. Okay, I don't know where this is going. Last 2 minutes. What does your ideal girl look like? Please be careful.
Like?
Remember, this is archived
Okay,
on YouTube.
I like girls with hair, with like longer hair than me, preferably, with 2 eyes, two nice eyes. That's all I can say for now.
Okay, Oscar, you can message him directly, and he'll give you.
Happy to talk.
Yeah, come on, Jake. My dream is to be a Canucks announcer. Think he can do it? Canucks announcer.
Yes. I mean, if
he's not asking you to do it, he's saying he's going to do it.
Who's that guy that announces for Canucks?
On the radio, it's Brendan Batchelor.
Yeah.
On TV, it's John Shorthouse. And over the PA system is Al Murdoch.
You can do it. I know you can.
Yeah, see, there's some positive.
Boom.
And I'll give 1 more minute for any questions coming in, but this could be the last one from Harry. Which Canucks player would you meet if you have a chance to? Great question, Harry.
Ooh. Oh, Pedersen. Pedersen. Because his name is Elias. And then I want to ask him how he like truly pronounces his name.
That's a great question. Actually, a lot of people have asked him that. And he says Elias Peterson.
Elias?
Peterson. But then we say Pedersen because in Sweden it's Pettersson, technically. No, I'm being serious.
Okay.
But I know most people say Elias Pettersson. I say Elias Pettersson because that's just, it flows better for
Elias
me.
Pedersen.
Yeah. And right away, Elserson, what do you think of my name?
I feel like you made that up.
But you know that's a combination of who?
Elias.
Yeah.
And Besser.
Yeah.
And Pedersen.
No, Pedersen's the same as Elias, so two guys.
Got it.
Okay, on that note, we've exactly hit the 1 hour mark. Man, these last 10 minutes go by so quickly when he's here. So thank you, Canucks fans. Okay, last one. Clay,
Ooh.
did you name your kid Jake after Jake Virtanen? Is that why you like Virtanen so much? Well, he was born in 2003, I think only a few years after Jake Virtanen was born. And no, we actually, Jacob would have been Jacob, Nathaniel, Noah, or Isaac. All four are biblical names. Those were the names we were debating and deciding between, and we went with Jacob Isaac. So he's Jacob Isaac Emo, and that is his name. All right, thanks everyone. Really appreciate you joining us. And I'll say this again. I know that you could be doing anything else with your Sunday night, preparing for school, preparing for work, whatever it may be. But the fact that you take an hour out of your night to be with us, to talk Canucks, to bear with this guy, it does mean a lot. So thank you. Enjoy the games this week. They're in Tampa on Tuesday, in Florida on Thursday, and then in Buffalo on Saturday. Remember my predictions? Markstrom, Demko is the goalies. The Canucks have a chance to extend their win streak
to 10
this week. Very good.
Yeah.
He actually knew they had won 7 straight to 10 straight games. So thank you. Enjoy your night. And don't forget, I do daily vlogs on YouTube. And then I'll be doing, I post them to Twitter as well. So Canuck Clay on Twitter, Clayton Emo on Instagram, my full name, Clayton Emo on Facebook. You want to find me there. And then you obviously hear on my YouTube channel, daily vlogs on YouTube and Twitter. And yeah, thanks for joining us. And we'll see you next week. Same time, 10 o'clock for Clay's Canucks commentary live. I messed that up because I got too excited. So thanks for the comments. I'm going to read them all again once they get reposted in about 10 or 15 minutes. And until next time, God bless and
go
Canucks go.
Go.
Now I know how to turn this off.
Yeah.
God bless you.